Alright guys, it's me, it's DDP. Wrestling reference, old school, happy days. Right, so we are going to be having a look right now at doing the thing that I do every single time, which is review the event. So we've got 2 events at the moment, but only one of them has ended, so that is the one we will be reviewing. And it's this one, Elena. What do we think? Before I go ahead and tell you what I think, you tell me what you think in the comments down below. I'll give you 5 seconds. Going to speak now. Some of you might think 5 seconds is too short for you to write a whole thing about what you think, but that's what the pause button's for. So, pause. There you go. I'll you tight, right? So anyway, what do we think of this event? Let's break it down to its nuts and bolts. Let's break down the good, let's break down the bad, let's say what we think should stay, what we think should go, right? So, first up, what should stay? What was good? What was worth keeping? Well, the reality is, there was only one thing different about this event. One thing. This event format has been, I want to say, done to death at this point. We've had it for Evil Ryu. We've essentially had it for Akuma. I mean, it was slightly different for Akuma, but it was more or less the same. We've had it for Goken, and we've now had it for Elena, right? It seems to be there is probably 2 event formats. There is collab events and then the standard events. We're going to have a hell of a lot more standard events than we do collab events, so if they do not mix up the formula, we are going to see this again very, very soon, because tomorrow we are having maintenance. We are going to get a new unit tomorrow. I kind of told you who I think it's going to be. I think strongly that it's going to be El Fuerte, the masked luchador. I think he's going to be our unit tomorrow, and along with that unit, if everything kind of follows the structure I think it's going to follow, we will probably also get a countdown to a new limited unit, who, if I had to throw money at it, I would say was probably going to be Oni, because he is the only unit that's sitting currently in the game that's not available to summon. He's available to play against in Satsu mode in Shadow City. So I fully expect him to be the character that we are going to receive, and maybe if it is going to be him, we might be able to find out his typing, which I strongly suspect to probably be Inferno, but we might be able to find that out by looking at Shadow City, because what they did was they put Evil Ryu and Oni in there, and they were both legends, but when you could summon for Evil Ryu, or when he became summonable, you'll notice that his faction type changed to Inferno, so that might happen as well with Oni, so we might know tomorrow what, if it is Oni, that is, right? We might find out tomorrow if they do add a countdown. If it is Oni, we can go maybe there and check and see what typing he's going to be, right? So anyway, if that is how things are going to play out, we'll probably have another event in like 7 days, which it's kind of great for content. We've had plenty to do, there's no arguments there, but we don't want it to be this. We don't want it to be this again, because we've done this to death, right? So now I've got that out of the way. What was the one big positive for this event that made it stand out? Well, if we're being completely honest, it was probably this. It was the fact that we got a copy of Elena from the first one, and we got a copy of Elena from this one, right? Now, this event is not part of the half anniversary celebration, okay? 100%. Had it confirmed, it is nothing to do with the half anniversary celebration. The half anniversary celebration is everything that is in that portal. This was pre-half anniversary, so us getting a copy of Elena here and here is not just special because of the anniversary, okay? So, in my opinion, this should be the norm now, okay? Now, is it going to be the norm? I honestly can't tell you, because I've asked and I cannot get an answer on that. I can't get an answer on it, which to me makes me lean towards it's not going to be the norm, which I personally do not understand, because if Elena used a different dupe system, then she would be different from a Master and Inferno unit, right? But she doesn't, she uses the standard dupe system, so apart from having that wind symbol, she is no different to a Master or Inferno limited unit. So the fact that we got Elena here and here as a reward, I think that should now become the norm, because for this event, I feel like for players, this was the biggest standout thing, right? Obviously the pre-login, getting like the Starlight was pretty decent as well, right? But that aside, the biggest standout thing for players was this and this. So what I hope going forward is that this happens from now on. Now Elena is very useful even at low level. The only thing I would say is her healing is scaled off of HP, so the more copies of her you've got, the higher HP she's got, the more effective she is as a healer. So that would obviously mean she's maybe not as effective when she's at this rank. However, for cleansing and stuff like that, then she's just as good. So big thumbs up for the 2 copies of Elena, and that to me at least, would mean if you take all of these events that have followed the exact same layout, the exact same formula, and you were to stack them up against each other, this one inevitably becomes the best one of all of them, simply because the rewards that were attached to it were better, right? Anyone who tries to argue that they weren't better, I'm sorry, you're just wrong, right? You're just wrong, because for completing this and completing this, we get the same amount of tickets that we would have got if we had not had a copy of the unit. So this right here immediately makes it better than all of the other events that have used this exact same formula, right? So that needs to stay. 100% that needs to stay. Topjoy, if you are even remotely interested in keeping players happy, my suggestion would be just from now on, put 1 copy here, 1 copy here. Do the grant thing that you did, do the same again, put 1 copy of the unit, 2 copies of the unit into the grant. It means free-to-play players will get 2 copies, spenders will get an additional 2 copies, which it's not going to kill you. It's not, because the special summoning tickets are still really difficult to use to get the unit, and it'll still take a lot of time for you to actually get that unit. So going forward, this needs to stay. It's just my opinion, and I believe it's what they should do. Apart from that, there's really not much more to say about the event. Battle Lust, this would be better if they changed up some of these things, right? These things here, the ones that are on the lines that have got 3, 4 and 3, they really need to stay the same, because those are like stat boosts. Things like heavy hit rate, parry rate, crit rate, they would all need to stay, right? But ones like this, that's like a special effect. That is like a special effect. These ones at the end, they're also like special effects. Change them. If you're going to continue to do this, then change them, because that at least in some way brings a little modicum of variety to this, right? So if we're going to be stuck doing the same thing over and over and over, at least make some tweaks and some changes within that thing to at least freshen it up. That would be my take and my point of view, and I think it's fairly easy to do, you know, like, I don't know, just here you go, like increase damage dealt by 24% for 10 seconds after inflicting burn, shock or bleed to the enemy, right? I mean, what more could they put in there? I don't know, combo 1 and combo 3 damage boosted by 30%, or do one that's maybe power balanced and shield units boosted by 25%, and maybe do another one where it's like assassins, something else and something else boosted by 25%. Whatever, just add a bit of spice, add a bit of variety, because right now you've done the exact same thing, like exactly the same thing. You've literally went this event here, we will lift it, we'll move it across. That one was Elena. Take her picture off, take her artwork off. This one's going to be Oni. Let's put in a battle ravaged background and let's put a little picture of Oni down there. There we go, job's done, let's move on. That is not very original. That is where you're losing people. They're finding it a bit boring. Change it up, simple. You can't reinvent the wheel, but you can at least redesign the wheel to make it look a little bit more exotic, you know, change little bits and pieces in it, you know. Wheels have been the same for years, but they started using aluminium rather than using steel, which made them lighter, which made them perform better. You didn't reinvent the wheel, but you made the wheel different. That's what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to just tweak this up a bit, spice it up a bit, make it a little bit different, right? Aerial gift, no arguments here. It's free stuff. Like, what are we going to complain about? It's free stuff. I'm never going to complain about free stuff. What more can I say? I mean, it's all good. We've got the bosses. The bosses are... Oh, shout out to Bakra, by the way. Where is he? Oh, I can't even look. There's one of them. Oh no, I did win them all. Alright, okay. Anyway, still shout out to Bakra. You bet me on the Guile thing. You'll probably beat me on the Vega thing as well, so shout out to you, my man. But these things here, I still feel like this needs to change, right? Because we're doing this talk now of Witch Jury being a test, right? Witch Jury, she's a test. If she goes well, there'll be more units in divination rather than just purely being like special summons and stuff. Okay, that's fine. There's a chance that we'll get 50% off more often, maybe all the time. I don't know. Okay, great, awesome, that's fine. I'll still say I would probably rather have pity. I've said that for the word go, but you've got to pick your battles sometimes. If the hidden pity is 25, then that would mean with 50% off you're averaging 13. Well, at worst case scenario. So that technically means that they've introduced a 13 pity, which is way too high in my opinion, but it's better than nothing. And really, if that's the biggest compliment you can give, I don't really know what to say, but hey, it is better than nothing, right? But if you're going to do that moving forward, you need to tackle the issue that I feel like the game has now faced for a while. I've said this quite some time. If you're going to now leverage people being able to use diamonds more, you have kind of throttled the diamond income. You have. Like, I do not make as many diamonds per day as I used to. So you need to spice this up a little bit, okay? I've said for the longest time now, I want to say, if you come in any of these positions, okay, you should, one, receive higher rewards, right? You should have a choice of what those rewards are. So, for example, first, second and third, we currently get 16, 14 and 12 red tickets. You should be a box, then in that box you still get 16, 14 or 12 tickets. Or you could choose 25 gold, 20 gold, 18 gold. I'm just picking numbers here, right? But you could choose one or the other. The same thing goes for 4 to 10, 11 to 50. They should have a box as well where they've got a choice. Do they want those 12 divination tickets, or would they rather trade those 12 divination tickets away for 8 red tickets? Because the thing is here, with this leaderboard, you do really have two opposite ends of the spectrum. The users who constantly come 4 to 50, they probably would like to have more red tickets. Whereas the users who constantly come 1, 2 and 3, they probably have loads of red tickets, they've probably gone through red tickets, and they probably feel the pinch more on divination tickets. So introducing this would make it better for everyone. It would give players who don't normally get the chance to get as many red tickets a chance to get red tickets, and it would give the players who always get red tickets a chance to get divination tickets. And I feel like they could implement this across the board. anything, whether it be Super Showdown, whether it be whatever. Choice boxes, do you want the red ones or do you want the gold ones, which you would get slightly more of, but not massively more, because the game's established already. Gold tickets are worth less than red tickets. That's what you would do. It's pretty simple. I don't think it's very difficult, and I think that would maybe, possibly, re-engage people a little bit, because I know a lot of people who could compete now want divination tickets. So what they do is they load up their teams, they go skip, skip, skip. That's enough to get me top 10. I'm going to leave it, and then they walk away. They don't take part. They don't push. They don't do anything. So by spicing it up a little bit, I think it would give people more incentive to continue to push, to continue to engage, and continue to play. While on the subject of this, you don't have to do free teams every single event. Variety is the spice of life. Mix it up. I don't think I really need to say more than that. Mix it up. It's not even just that people have not got the ability to make free teams. I don't even think that is what it is with people. I think it's the fact that you've got a few variables in there. You've got free teams. You've got to hope for your best runs anyway. You've got to hope that your crits line up, your manual play timing lines up, and all that kind of stuff, right? And it ends up taking a lot of time. And for a game that's supposed to be casual, people love to say these AFK games or idle games are not supposed to be like hands-on too much. Making these events the way they are with the multiple teams is making it a lot more hands-on, so it's kind of hard to argue with people who say, well, I want this, that and the next thing, and then people will say, well, it's an idle game, what do you want? Well, they're kind of making it a lot more involved, so I think they should maybe think about dialing it back a bit and not putting free teams in all the time. So one team would be nice. One team would be nice, okay? Quick correction, sorry. Just remembered right there. I said that we've basically got two event types. We've got this one, and then we've got the collab one. I apologise, we actually have three. We've got another one that is like almost like an individual raid where you would fight whoever the character is. So I think that was what it was like for Akuma. And you would then fight maybe Gen, get some power-ups, and for a couple of days you would fight Akuma and Gen. Then the next time it would be Ryu, and then it would be Akuma and Ryu. There's also that one, so maybe the next event will actually be that again. We'll need to wait and see. But we've never had that one with multiple teams, so maybe the next event will actually go back to a single team formula. So anyway, overall, what do I think of this event? It's the same as all the other events, but with better rewards, which would mean that overall it's better, so you've got to give them a thumbs up for that. But it's better solely by virtue of the rewards. I still feel like we need to see variety, we need to see more diversity in the challenges and the events and the things that we do within the game. I'm loving the fact that we've got content. You'll hear no arguments from me there. I'm not criticising the game for giving us content. Content is good. Let us do it. Just try to not make the content the same all the time, because when we do one event, we get a week off, then we do another event, and that event is pretty much the same as the last event, but maybe just a little bit aesthetically different. You just feel like you're going through the motions, doing the same thing all the time. So while I'm maybe putting the onus onto the devs a little bit, you need to think of something new. You need to think of something new. On TW, they do have raids. They do have server-wide raids where it's kind of like the Malaga Ken boss, where you would fight as a group to beat the boss. I don't actually think since the Gore Malaga Ken thing we've had that. I don't think we've had like a server-wide kind of boss battle type thing. Maybe it's time to look at doing something like that. It would give us a bit of variety, it would give us something different, and I think the players would enjoy just having a bit of a different thing to do, you know? Anyway, overall I would say that this one, by virtue of the event, rewards, you might disagree, has been the best event. Just simply due to the fact that we have got different rewards. When it comes to playing, I still think that the Dante event was probably the best one to play, but from a rewards point of view, this one's definitely the best. You can let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. If you agree, if you disagree, hey, I'm all about discussion, you know. This video went on quite long, didn't it? But that's it. I'm Hayzink. Thanks for watching, and yeah, that's it. I'll catch you in the next one.